Q and SAQ. Define and classify cyst of the jaw and oral cavity. Discuss what is odontogenic keratocyst, etiopathogenesis, clinical features, and management of OKC in the ramus of mandible. Short note on this topic usually asked is causes of recurrence potential of keratocyst. LAQ. Define and classify the cyst of jaw and oral cavity. Discuss what is OKC, etiopathogenesis, clinical feature, and management of OKC in the ramus of mandible. Definition. Cyst is defined as a pathological cavity having fluid, semi-fluid, or gaseous content and which is not created by the accumulation of pus. It frequently, but not always, is lined by epithelium. Classification of cysts of jaw are epithelial. It can be divided as non-odontogenic and odontogenic. Non-odontogenic have nasopalatine, median palatine, alveolar, mandibular, globulomaxillary, nasolabial. Odontogenic cysts can be further divided as developmental and inflammatory. Developmental have dentigerous cyst, eruption cyst, calcifying odontogenic cyst, odontogenic keratocyst, primordial cyst, gingival cyst of infants, gingival cyst of adults, lateral periodontal cyst. Inflammatory cysts contain radicular cyst, residual cyst, and paradental cysts. Non-epithelial cysts contain simple bone cyst, traumatic bone cyst, solitary bone cyst, hemorrhagic bone cyst, and aneurysmal bone cyst. Coming to our topic, odontogenic keratocyst, it is defined as a benign intraosseous tumor of odontogenic origin with a characteristic lining of parakeratinized stratified squamous epithelium and potentially aggressive infiltrative behavior. According to WHO 2005 classification, it was renamed as keratocystic odontogenic tumor. It was considered a benign neoplasm due to its aggressive behavior, histologically characteristics, and high recurrence rate. But it was moved back as odontogenic cyst as it lacked the conversion to a tumor, that is tumorigenicity. Etiopathogenesis, it occurs from dental lamina, rest of serrae, basal cells of oral epithelium, reduced enamel epithelium of dental follicle. It is commonly associated with Gollen-Gott syndrome, that is nevoid basal cell syndrome carcinoma. The pathogenesis is basically Hedgehog signaling pathway and PTCH, that is patched tumor suppressor gene mutation occurs which causes OKC. The PTCH and smooth receptor complex suppress the growth signal transduction. Mutation of this gene cause inhibition, and PTCH binds with SHH, that is sonic Hedgehog ligand, which inhibits and facilitates growth signals. Clinical features seen: age, it is seen in second and third decade of life. Bimodal age distribution is seen, that is between 20 to 40 years and 50 to 70 years. Males are more dominant than females, that is 1.6 to 1 ratio. It is more commonly seen in the mandible than the maxilla, mostly in the posterior region, that is at the angle and ascending ramus of mandible, usually crossing the midline. Signs and symptoms: initially it is asymptomatic, swelling of the cyst extending in medullary cavity. It is common in medullary cavity initially because it provides least resistance for the cyst to grow anterior posteriorly. Later it becomes painful with discharge. Paresthesia of lower lip teeth are seen. A displacement of teeth in that region. It might disrupt the floor of orbit in maxilla, causing proptosis, that is bulging of the eyes. Hollow, dull sound on percussion of teeth is seen. Might cause displacement of mandibular canal in large lesions. Aspiration of cyst contains dirty, creamy, white viscous fluid with less than 5 grams per 100 ml protein content. This protein is majorly of albumin. So we can see that there is asymmetry seen on the right side. It usually occurs 49% in the at the angle of ramus and angle of mandible and the ascending ramus, whereas it occurs least at the canine fossa area. In this radiographs, we can see that radiolucency is seen, which is multilocular, and it has disrupted the floor of the orbit in the second photo. Management, objective of treatment, complete elimination of pathological lesion, cause minimal destruction and damage to surrounding soft and hard tissues, restore normal function and aesthetics. Principle of treatment selection: the lining of the cyst should be removed. Tooth germ, unerupted or partially erupted, should be conserved as far as possible. Prevention of adjacent vital structures like neurovascular bundle, nasal and anterior lining mucosa, etc. First treatment is by marsupialization. It is also called as PASH1. It is indicated in young children to preserve tooth germ, unerupted teeth, etc. Large cyst where enucleation might cause pathological fractures. Cyst in close proximity of vital structures to preserve the vitality of many adjacent teeth. Procedure: in this, a window of 1 centimeter is created in the cyst lining. The lining is sutured to the oral mucosa, creating a pouch. Decompression of the cavity into the oral cyst. Cavity is packed with iodoform gauze coated with tincture benzoin till endosseous healing is seen. So here we can see that a circular incision is made in the mucosa and periosteum. Exposure of the cortical bone is seen and the bone is removed with a round burr. A window is created with ronger, which is used to gouge out bone. The cyst is exposed. The wound is the suturing of the wound of the margins with cystic wall exposed so that it can drain. Packing of the cyst with iodoform gauze. Advantages: it is a simple procedure, less risk to adjacent vital structures, does not create oroantral fistula, consume less time and less blood loss. Disadvantages: pathological lining left behind might undergo neoplastic changes. Healing is delayed in old patients due to big cysts. Regular irrigation and cleaning of the cavity is needed to prevent infection. Prolonged healing time is seen. Formation of tissue pockets that may cause food lodgement. There is a modification of marsupialization, which is called as Waldron's procedure. In this procedure, marsupialization is followed by enucleation. Decompression of cyst is done and kept open with a drain initially with medicated gauze pack and later with an acrylic plug. Bone regeneration reduces the size of the cavity, allowing enucleation on a much smaller lesion. Second treatment option is enucleation, also called as PASH2. Indication: small cyst not endangering vital structures or risk of pathological fractures, cyst having high recurrence like OKC. Procedure: complete removal of the cystic lining and its contents is essential. Usually an intraoral approach is chosen, and to gain maximum advantage is it completed with primary closure. So we can see that supposing there's a maxillary cyst, labial access is done with an trapezoidal flap. The flap is reflected, the bone is removed. We use a hemostat and curate to remove the cyst from the bony cavity, and then we suture back the flap. Other enucleation methods are enucleation and curettage, denote scraping of the cyst cavity in exact thickness of surrounding bone by hand instrument, high recurrence rate is seen. 2. Enucleation and peripheral osteotomy involves enucleation of cyst with an annexed thickness of surrounding bone is removed by rotary instrument. Methylene blue can be used to mark the bone. Enucleation and chemical cauterization. After enucleation, Carnoy solution is applied, which is a fixative, hemostatic, and cauterizing agent. It penetrates the cancellous bone and devitalizes and fixes left out epithelial remnant cells. Penetration of 1.5 mm in bone, 0.15 in nerve, 0.51 in mucosa after 5 minutes of application is seen. The side effects are neurotoxic, necrosis of maxillary sinus, etc. Composition of Carnoy solution is 1 gram ferric chloride, which facilitates in dehydration. 1 ml glacial acetic acid swells tissue and prevents overhanging. 3 ml chloroform increases speed of fixation, but it's most hazardous ingredient in the solution. So a well-ventilated area should be available. 6 ml absolute alcohol, which hardens and shrinks the tissue. Resection is the third treatment option. Marginal resection, surgical removal of lesion and surrounding uninvolved bone, maintaining bone continuity is done. Segmental resection, surgical removal of mandibular bone without maintaining bone continuity is seen. Resection have least reoccurrence rate but high morbidity because reconstructive measures are necessary to restore jaw function and aesthetics. Now coming to the SAQ of the recurrence potential of OKC. OKC has a 25 to 60% reoccurrence rate of 4 years in males and 7 years in females. It is seen due to incomplete removal of cystic lining, thin and friable nature of epithelial lining, high level of cell proliferative activity in the epithelium, budding in the basal layer of the epithelium, bony proliferation, adherence to adjacent soft tissue, supraepithelial and subepithelial split of epithelial lining, parakeratinization of surface layer, remnants of dental lamina, epithelium may not associated with original OKC, and development of new OKC in adjacent area. Growth of new OKC from daughter cells, satellite cells, or rest cells. Thank you.